All right, so let's start the second day of 8.6, and this is all about the work rate formula. And yes, these are word problems, but they're actually not that bad. And this type of problem you've probably seen on the ACT or ACT practice or practice ACT. That's like, oh, if two pumps are pumping water and one pump fills a pool in 3 hours and another fills a pool in 4 hours, how long will it take for them to work together? How fast will the pool be filled? Okay, something like that. So that exact same type of problems here, they're not hard to solve. So here is your formula right here. So when you set it up, you have 1 over R1, and R1 is their first rate, and then plus 1 over R2, which is the second rate. And the cool thing about this is you don't have to have those in the right order because you're adding them and the order doesn't matter. And then that equals 1 over X, which is the combined rate. Okay, so here is our first example. One pump can fill a pool of water in 2 hours. Another pump can fill a pool in 3 hours. If both pumps are used at the same time, how long will it take to fill the pool? Answer in hours and minutes rounded to the nearest minute. Okay, so we know that one pump pumps it in 2 hours. So that would be rate number 1. So we're going to have 1 over 2 plus 1 over the second pump fills it in 3 hours. So 1 over 3 equals 1 over X, which is their combined rate if they're working together. All right, now we know how to solve these problems. They're easy, right? You have to get your least common denominator. So your least common denominator will be 6x, right? So you're going to multiply this by 3x, this one times 2x, and this one times 6, right? Okay, so now that gives us 3x plus 2x equals 6. All right, now that we have a common denominator, on all three terms, we can drop it because this is an equation. So you have 3x plus 2x equals 6x. Go ahead and solve, and you get x equals 6/5. Okay, you can't leave it as a fraction. They want you to put it in hours and minutes. So 6/5 is the same thing as 1 1/5, right? Okay, so we know it's going to be 1 hour. But how do you find 1/5 of an hour? Some of you may be able to do this in your head, and some of you may not, and that's okay. I'll just show you how to do it really fast. Even if you can do it in your head, there's probably going to be a time where you're going to need to use the calculator to do it. So how you do this is you type in your calculator 1/5 times, there's 60 minutes in an hour, so times 60, and in this case it equals 12. So this would be 1 hour and 12 minutes if both pumps were working together. Okay, the next one. Mrs. Roeder can finish painting a house in 9 hours. Mr. Roeder takes 11 hours to finish the same job. How long would it take for them to complete the job if they are working together? So answer in hours and minutes rounded to the nearest minute. So it looks like on this one, the first rate for me would be 1 over 9 plus Mr. Roeder, 1 over 11, equals what we're trying to find, our combined rate if we work together. So these are a little bit not as nice and easy numbers, but that's all right. Looks like our LCD is going to be 99x. So I'm going to have to multiply this by 11x, this by 9x, and this by 99. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and drop my denominator so I don't have to write it twice. So this will be 11x plus 9x equals 99. All right, easy enough problem. So that would give you 20x equals 99, and then x would equal 99 over 20. So I'm going to write it as a mixed number. So that's 4 and 19/20. So in my calculator, if I were gonna, I know it's gonna be 4 hours, and then I would do 19 over 20 times 60, and that gives you 57 minutes. So if we were working together, it would take 4 hours and 57 minutes. All right, next problem. Mr. Roeder can eat a large pizza in 13 minutes. It's a little fast, that's okay. With Mrs. Roeder's help, the two of them can eat the pizza in 9 minutes. How long would it take to find Mrs. Roeder, or how long would it take Mrs. Roeder to eat the pizza by herself? So we have Mr. Roeder, right? And that would be 1 over 13 plus Mrs. Roeder. We don't know what that is, so I'm going to give it an R. 1 over R equals our combined, right? That would be 1 over 9. Okay, these numbers are even more gross than the last one. Looks like your least common denominator is going to be 117x. So I would have to multiply this by 9x, this by 117. Oh, I'm throwing x's in there. Let's make that an R. Sorry, I forgot I'm doing R. Okay, and then on this one, I would have to multiply it by 13r. Okay, so I get 9r, drop in the denominators, plus 117 equals 13r. All right, go ahead and subtract that. So that would give you 4r equals 117. So r equals 117 over 4, which is the same thing as 29 1/4 minutes. So since it's minutes, it doesn't say to round to the nearest minute, but so let's just do minutes and seconds. We'll go for it. So it would take me, so R, it would be 29 minutes. And then what's 1/4 of a minute? How many seconds? 15 seconds, right? Okay, I feel like that's socially acceptable to eat a large pizza in 29 minutes, right? 13 minutes is a little fast, but that's okay. Still love them anyway. All right, let's move on. And those are not real numbers, actually. I just made them up, so don't judge us. We don't eat large pizzas and time them. So, okay. Anyway, now last problem. So Mr. Roeder folds laundry twice as fast as Mrs. Roeder. She hates laundry, true story. When working together, they finish all the laundry in 30 minutes. How long would it take each of them if they were working alone? So this one is probably as tough as it gets. It's a little weird. So you have Mr., Mrs., and then combined, right? So we know the combined amount is 30 minutes. Okay, so now this is where you think about it. So if Mr. Roeder folds it twice as fast as he does, faster than I do, that would mean he folds it 1 over x, and it would take me 2 times longer than he does. So 1 over 2x. Okay, if that doesn't make sense, rewind it and listen to it again, and hopefully it clicks a little bit more. All right, now let's go ahead and solve it. So I'm going to multiply this. Our LCD will be 30x. So this times 30. That one times 15, and this times x. So it looks like we have 30 plus 15 equals x. Hey, that's pretty good. So x equals 45. So that's Mr. Roeder, right? So Mr. Roeder takes 45 minutes to fold it all. And then I gotta watch my TV and I get distracted. I'm on my phone. 90 minutes. So double the time he does. Okay? So that's what this problem is asking you. One thing on the homework, you have to read it carefully to see exactly what they're wanting. Sometimes it says how much more or how many more minutes did it take for one. So it would be like Mrs. Roeder took 45 more minutes than Mr. Roeder. So you really just kind of have to read, and in that case you would just subtract, of course. So that is it. This is a short video, so thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.